So this video is going to be about this Husqvarna Rz4619 that I did the head gasket on. Boy, let me tell you, this thing has been a headache. So please watch, and hey, if you guys see anything that can help me that I'm missing on this, let me know. I think I got it figured out though. But anyway, anybody's got any ideas, let me know. Something I'm missing. Maybe Kyle up there, KB. You know, any of you guys that see these every day. Rooster, Lawnmower Detective, any of you guys, David, DNR, please help me out if you can. Anyway, if you're interested, stay tuned. We'll get right into it. Alright guys, so here we are on the Husqvarna Rz4619 again. You know, if you watched yesterday's video, you know this is one of the ones in the shop that I worked on yesterday. I got the head back on it. Now you see the valve covers back off of it. When I tried to crank it after I got it all back together, it would stop at some point. So, you know, like I told you guys, the battery was dropping a load. And it was just, it would hang at one spot. And I thought, well, the battery's just not charged up, and surely it wasn't. It was down to 11 point something. So I charged it overnight. Got up this morning, tried it with a good charged up battery, no luck. So then, you know, I'm thinking that ACR is really bad, and I'm dreading this because I'm going to have to pull this engine and change the camshaft. I even went as far as I pulled a starter out of stock and changed the starter to make sure the starter didn't have any problems with it. Got another battery out of stock and tried a new battery just to make sure that's not it. So then, okay, so I call the customer. I'm saying, well, I think maybe it's the ACR, but I'm still, you know, diagnosing things. So now we're down to the point where we're going to pull the clutch off, the PTO. It's right over here. You know, and I tested that, you know, with the key on. You know, it was engaged. The magnet, you could hear it clicking, clunk, 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 like it's supposed to. All right, so I'm going to stop this right here, and we'll go a little further. Pull the clutch off, undo the drive belt. You know, that looks good. I'm dreading trying to pull that off if I have to pull this engine because it's usually rusted. But, so then, you know, to get that belt loose, the drive belt loose, I had to undo this spring right here, you know, that holds the idler pulley. And look at this. This thing is supposed to move some toward this way because there's no pressure on it. I should be able to move that with my hand. Oh no, there might be another spring the other way. I don't know. But anyway, look at this. That's another piece that's going to have to be replaced. Let's see if I can get up under here better to show you. It's all the way. Right here. Listen to that. And look at this plate. So that's a problem too. And like I said, it should move. I should be able to move that, but I can't. So that's another problem. Hold on. If you notice with all that, with that PTO off, I don't know what's up with this. That arm's not. I'm gonna have to get up and inspect that a little further. I suspect it's the bearings welded itself. I'm not positive, but anyway. Now look at the flywheel. I mean, right there is the compression release where it's supposed to be, and I can pull it. Before I was having to force it. Now I've got the muffler off, so this is going to be loud, but with all that stuff off of it, you know, the belt, 2 belts released and whatever, watch this. So she cranks up and runs. Loud, wasn't it? All right, so that's a relief. I don't believe we're going to have to pull that engine. That battery might need to charge a little more. That's on there. But, so next, I'm going to put 12 volts to this, and we're going to see what's up with it. I'm going to put this on the tripod when I show you that one. Tripod in a minute, but I just want to show you this lever here. Look, I got my little rubber mallet. I can barely get it to move. So there's a bushing underneath this. So this is the bracket that holds the arm on that supports this idler pulley. So obviously the bearing in there is wore out, or the bushing or whatever's in there. I don't remember. I'll have to look at the parts diagram, but this should be able to move back and forth just by me touching it with a finger. So that's a problem. This is the belt that came off of it. This is the inside. All the way around it's like that. And I think this clutch is bad too. So with all that stress, if that idler thing wasn't moving, you know, as the drive's going, that was putting extra stress on this engine. And that's probably why it blew the head gasket. Lucky it didn't do anything else. Yeah, so I'm confident in the engine now, so I'm going to go ahead and put the valve cover back on. I've got the valves adjusted. Put the muffler on so it isn't so loud when we crank it. And then we're going to test this PT out. I bet it's bad as well. It was clicking, however, but look at this. Look at all that. And if you turn it, so this is supposed to be, hang on, I'll just put this on a tripod, give me a minute. So now we're going to test this PTO out. So I got a 12 volt battery here, known 12 volt source, got the PTO, got me some little jumpers. First let's show you what it's doing. Okay, there's no power going to it right now at all, right? Oh, anyway, so you can turn, this is the bottom side, the bolt that holds the crankshaft goes through here. Now look, you can turn this with your hand, and it turns the whole shaft. There's a Allen key in there that locks to the crankshaft. So this thing's turning freely right now, right? So just imagine the motor's running, but you haven't turned the blades on. Listen to that. It should turn a lot freer and smoother. I know the camera doesn't do it justice. So now we're going to energize it. And when we energize it, flywheel key, the nut will be going through here holding this to the crankshaft. And when you turn this, this is what should allow this clutch pulley to turn, or PTO pulley, blade, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to energize it. Hear it click? Watch. You can see it bump. You can hear it. Okay, so we're going to turn it. And now when I turn, it should, you can't even turn this at all. It should lock in place because it locks to this locks, keep this top part from spinning. But this pulley won't even turn at all. And if it does, I have to really, really force it. And here. So I'd say this PTO is bad, but if you guys know I'm not testing it the right way, please let me know. Now, I'll close in closing on this video will be coming up next. Guys, so this was a tough one. So you saw that the PTO clutch is bad, but you got to remember when this thing first came in here, it came in here with no compression, right? No start. Guy said it just felt like it ran out of gas when it quit. So I did my checks. Turned out to be a head gasket. Knew the head gasket was bad. Piston rings looked good, so we didn't take the engine off at that point. Replaced the head. gasket, and we had too much compression. Now, what do you mean by too much compression? I mean that as the flywheel is turning and it gets to where it wants to bump that exhaust valve, it's not, the exhaust valve's not opening, so the flywheel stops, then maybe a battery wire starts smoking, or you hear noise, whatever. And so I'm thinking maybe it's the automatic compression release valve is bad. You know, I'm hoping that's not it, because that means I got to pull the engine. So I tried everything I know. I've been pulling my hairs out, you know, all day, driving me nuts. And so I called the customer. I told him, you know, it might be that. I'm probably going to have to pull the engine. So, you know, I did check the PTO to make sure it was bumping and stuff. But there's a combination of problems with this. You saw where the idler pulley for the drive tensioner, all that shot, it's done. So it had a load on it for that because that wasn't releasing any. It was stuck all the way open, and so there's no. That's putting resistance on the flywheel from turning. Then you got this bad PTO, which with the power off, it's still turning inside the shaft, but it's making a grinding noise. I'm suspecting the main reason was from that drive pulley tensioner and that apparatus being messed up. But you can see after I tested the PTO how bad it is. It's not, that pulley's not even turning. It's not allowing it to turn at all. When you turn the inside, it's messed up. So probably gonna have to have a PTO too. But anyway, guys, I'm just telling you, man. Sometimes even if you do the basic diagnosis and stuff, it can be something else, and you don't even notice it. But before I pulled that engine, I tried it again after I got all that stuff off of it. You know, I first tried it, just took the belts off of both of those to see, but that wasn't it. It was that binding. There's that binding from that PTO that was stopping it. Now I've got it turned over and cranking. Who knows? But it did have a bad head gasket because it didn't have hardly any compression. But that's why it was able to free spin, because it didn't have any compression, and that resistance wasn't working against it. See, I don't know if you guys understand that, but anyway, thanks for watching this video, man. I am tuckered out for the day. Leave me some likes and comments if there's something else you might try that I'm missing here. But I believe by all my diagnoses, I've figured out the problem. And like I said, just goes to show you, if you check all your basic engine diagnosis, it could be something else that's causing that. Because I know I did the head gasket right. I did all that, went through all that, and it's still, you know. Anyway, I'm going to send this video to my customer, let him see it so he'll understand a little better and whatever. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Greasy hands and all. And I know I'm smoking, I shouldn't be. Jungle Bob out.